Mazda 3 update number 2, and I believe I have repaired the cooling system. You can see the hose down there no longer touches the crank pulley, and it's not cut. There is a little bit of antifreeze from the repair that went on, and this piece here, this whole giant piece across, holds the condenser for the air conditioner, and also behind that is the radiator. And I thought those were punctured when this happened. There was a chance that it could have got the radiator fan when it got hit, because sometimes when this stuff happens it gets pushed back into the motor and crushes it, but none of that happened. Very, very fortunate on that. The fans are intact. Everything's intact down there. Nothing broke. Right here I've got a piece of wood that is basically a spacer until I can get this crush panel fixed. At work they said they could actually cut this out and replace this section of metal. It's a part that can be removed from the frame and a new piece welded onto the frame. It's spot welded on in about tack welded on in 4 places. They have to cut that, pull it out, and stick the new one on and hit it back with the welder again in those same 4 places. Then everything can bolt back together. I'm going to put a license plate on the structural bumper here, and I can put the headlight back in, since I now have something that will prevent this thing from actually crushing the headlight into the fender again. That is what happened before, and ended up getting really lucky on this. Fender isn't even bent. I thought it was. It may have a little crease and a buckle here, but it's not so much that anybody would ever know. In fact, it almost looks intentional, but we know it's not. Anyway, you're never going to see both sides at the same time, so if you didn't know that, it would probably be fine. You'd never know that, but you can see the light in the reflection makes a little wave there, where I don't believe it will on the other side. Let's just have to look at that. There's a little wave. Not much, but a little bit. So I've essentially modified the way the wave happens, but I'm really happy with this. This piece here is probably going to cost me, well, when I'm done with this, I'm going to get a new windshield for it too. It's got a little crack in the glass, but by the time I'm done with this, I will have a car that is valued at $7,160 back together on the road and correct, with no structural maladies at all, because it's going to be done right, for about $1,100. That's including having the windshield fixed. I'm also going to have the brake fluid completely serviced and swapped out. I don't know if it's ever been done, but after a collision like this, you want to make sure that you have every possible chance of everything being right. So I'm just going to have them do that at work for me as well, because they have a power bleeder and they can bleed it at the master cylinder and do all 4 wheels at the same time, and this thing is going to be back on the road. Once that's back together, I'll have to take about an hour and a half, put everything back on the car, and it'll look good. Here is the hose that I took off of the car, and believe it or not, this hose here goes on the passenger side kind of down in here, and what happened was it got shoved back into the pulley, and the pulley on the engine just lacerated it. So pretty deep cut, went all the way through the tube, and basically bled out all the coolant. So what I thought was a breached radiator is nothing but $100 hose. So I was very fortunate to get this. With the supply chain issues that we're having, I believe I got the last one in Des Moines, and I'm very happy to have it, because a lot of places cannot even order that part right now. So what I'll basically tell you guys is, if you have a car that you like a lot, that runs really well, what you need to do is take care of it, because even small things like a hose are almost impossible to get. We have a Mazda 5, CX-5, I believe it is, at work, maybe it's CX-9, front end damage similar to this. We can't get parts for it. It's sat in the dealership for about 2 months, taking up a stall, but we literally cannot buy parts for it. So drive carefully in a way that's going to get you home and everybody else around you home. You don't want to know anybody's name next to you while you're driving. Trust me on that. Even though I had nothing to do with this crash, I wasn't there. I do feel bad for it. It's a car I bought. I really like this. Drives great, and it's going to be back. So take care of your equipment. Take care of each other on the road. That's all I got for now. We'll talk to you later.